Hi there. Welcome to my No BS gear review channel. As you know, I've been carrying this Olight iMini on my neck for months now. Every day in, day out, day and night. I take it everywhere. It goes on trips with me. So I am very happy about this inexpensive, very practical light. And that's why I gladly accepted an offer of cooperation with Olight. And today we're going to be reviewing a light they sent to me for my review, and it's the second time I'm reviewing one of their products. This one is kind of special, and let me tell you why. This is the Olight's latest drop, a new flashlight that's going live today on the day of the video's release, April 13, 2025. And it will be available at the provided link on Amazon as well as their website. It is called Olight Oclip Ultra, and I believe it's a third release in the Oclip series. Olight is a top-of-the-line brand in the flashlight space, and they're winning the world by using this rotary O switch, and from at least what I've observed, they continuously improve materials and production quality. I find this trapdoor covering the USB-C port with its precise fit and function, but it lacks the rubber gasket on the back side. We will find out if that causes any water intrusion and related damage. And here's a clip that gives this particular model its name. And let's see, does it have a magnet built in? Let's see. Yep, looks like it's magnetic, pretty strong magnet. Not overwhelmingly strong, but strong enough. In the spotlight mode, it produces 450 lumens, and you select the spotlight mode with a selection switch. It also comes with a UV light, and that makes it into kind of a medical device, and I'm only half kidding. I'll explain why in a minute. And it's a UVA band. And the last but not least selection is the floodlight, which has the same amount of lumens but fewer candelas than the spotlight. UV light has a single setting for its intensity, and there are 3 brightness settings for the floodlight and the spotlight, which you can activate by holding down the center of the O switch. Pretty typical box content. There's your welcoming card, important warnings. There's a box with accessories there, nice little finger pull out. And in it, there's the instruction and the cord, which is pretty short. It's more of a pigtail than a cord. Let's see what kind of specs it has. You already know about the lumens. We have IPX6 rating, which is powerful water jets. That's a strange choice. As an engineer, I would either pick IPX3 or X4, because there are very few situations in the real world where you need IPX6. An example of IPX6 would be an electrical outlet mounted on the exterior of the house that's designed to withstand pressure washing. And it's quite different from IPX7, which is 1 meter water immersion test, which may be appropriate for some flashlights, but still is an overkill. Let's do some size comparisons, starting with the Olight Arkfeld. The same thickness, and yeah, about the same thickness, not counting the clip. An O-clip, the clip protrudes a little farther. Here's the business end. Let's check it out, starting with the beam light. 450 lumens, here's 1400 lumens for comparison. There you go. Yeah. Because it's more concentrated than the Arkfeld. Arkfeld is more of a floodlight, candelas type light. The O-clip gives you up-close concentrated beam, so it almost seems as bright. Dimensions: 2¼ inches long, or 57 millimeters. 1 inch, or 25.4 millimeters wide. And some size comparisons again. Here's Altran iMini 2. And here's a common household Bic lighter. There it is. And here's an ever so popular
pocket knife called Spyderco Power 3. I should probably show it in an in-pocket configuration like this. And this is what my pocket content would look like when I go hiking, for example. I want to circle back to candelas. Look how concentrated this beam is. It means it has a lot of candelas. Unfortunately, manufacturers don't often characterize it in their specs. And here is the UV light, and the reason I'm shining it on my nail is because I pulled a cuticle and I am basically disinfecting my little wound, because UV light kills bacteria and fungus. And some UV lights in a different band, UVC band, also kill viruses. At over 300 nanometers, this one is in UVA band, so it will be effective at least to some extent on surfaces and fungi. And let me answer the question that I'm sure is on every EDC enthusiast mind. Is it really a pocket clip like that Arkfeld you just saw? It definitely goes into your pocket very easily thanks to this spring-loaded clip. But I was worried because it seemed thicker than it actually is in hand. I don't know, some kind of illusion. Because under the clip, it's the exact same thickness as the Arkfeld. Anyway, I did notice a little bit of discomfort because it's so short and the lower inner edge, kind of, you can feel it. It doesn't bite into your leg, but you can feel it. Definitely this light here distributes its weight better. And speaking of the weight, let's see here. Imperial units, it's just over 2 ounces. And Arkfeld, for comparison, is basically more than twice the weight. Even though, surprisingly, it doesn't feel that heavy in the pocket. And here is a pencil headlamp. I like it because it has adjustable angle. And I'll talk about that in a second. This light has no way to adjust if it's clipped somewhere where you want to direct. I wish they found a way to fit some kind of adjustments like that in, would make this light priceless. And here's a weight in metric units, 57.5 grams, as opposed to more than twice 120 grams. And the pencil is only 56 grams. So again, kind of illusion. It felt heavier than the pencil in the hand, but it actually isn't. These dual loop clips are pretty standard now on pocket flashlights, and the second loop allows them to be clipped to your baseball cap. And that's why every ounce of weight matters, or every, tenth of an ounce matters, because when it's in front of your face, hanging out there, leveraged on your head, you will feel every gram. This light is not suitable for hat wear at all, at least on the baseball cap, because the light has no way to point forward. It will shine on your chin and chest when thusly attached. There is a logic to this madness. At night, when it's chilly, you might be wearing your beanie hat, like I bring on every hike. And this one attaches easily to the folds of the beanie hat, and when it sits on your head, it's nice and tight, and it shines roughly forward, especially if you're in a flood mode. In a beam mode, you kind of have to tilt your head awkwardly, but in a flood mode, it is very much sufficient to light up your way and give you a good visibility around your camp. As far as backpack and chest straps, not so much, because the buckle is in the middle and it always ends up pointing slightly to the side. I did play with it attached to my wristband on my watch, and it's actually better than you would expect, because now I can have the use of my hand and I can still point the light where I need to with a high degree of control. And now you're ready for adventures. And speaking of adventures, let's talk IP ratings. This is a house shower head, and at full flow rate, it gives you somewhere between IPX3 and 4. I don't know exactly. No way to measure the flow rate and the pressure accurately, but you're in that ballpark, a heavy downpour. And as you can see, I'm exposing the vulnerable parts of the light, such as the trap door that covers the USB-C port, and the O switch here on the side. 30 seconds of that should be pretty telling in how the light performs in wet conditions. Here's that trapdoor that worried me a lot. I'm carefully opening it up. It is perfectly dry under that trapdoor. So definitely IP64, IP65 rating is appropriate. Let's see about that IP66. I'd like to point out this is not an industry standard test method. It's what I can do in my household. I will be exposing the most vulnerable parts of the light for about 30 seconds again. Meanwhile, I'd like to share this thought with you. If you see any flashlight company on Amazon or elsewhere advertising IP68 and not stating to what depth and to what duration that particular light was tested, run away. These people don't know what they're talking about. IP68 is meaningless unless you specify that depth beyond 1 meter and duration beyond 30 seconds. If those specs are not there, they're lying through their teeth. Run away. Olight is pretty accurate usually, although I still have my doubts about this light being IP66 rated. No worries, we'll find out soon enough. Let's look under that trapdoor. I see a little bit of water around the hinge area. It's actually encroaching into USB-C port. That worries me. Let's see if it lights up. Yep. So it's functional. Let's see if it charges. The test spec allows me to use absorbent paper to dry out the test subject, which I did, and gave it a few minutes to naturally air dry. And I'm ready to plug it in. Here's the moment of truth. Did it retain full functionality after exposing it to water? And sure enough, it did. Now, can I guarantee it's IP66 certified? No, but it is plausible based on my experiments here. Many thanks to Olight for providing this Oclip Ultra for my review.